Have you ever received a message from a friend, but all that appeared were empty boxes or strange symbols because your phone hadn't updated to the latest emojis? It's frustrating, isn't it? You know there's information there, emotion, maybe even a debt about to be paid, but you can't read it. Now, imagine the feeling of archaeologists and linguists looking at thousands of ancient inscriptions, but to them, they are just giant empty boxes from the past. We often feel superior because we've created ChatGPT or can translate Swahili to another language in a second via Google Translate. But the fact is, our current civilization is suffering from collective amnesia. We have thousands of ancestral files, but we've lost the software to open them. We know they spoke, we know they wrote, but we don't know what they said. Was it a secret recipe for eternal youth, or just a market shopping list they forgot to pay for? Today, we will discuss 7 ancient communication systems that to this day still cause the brains of the world's smartest scientists to experience a system crash. These are 7 lost languages and the reasons why we stopped understanding our own ancestors. Prepare your logic, let's defrag history. Voynich Manuscript, medieval encryption. We start with the king of all book mysteries, the Voynich Manuscript. Your POV. You find the diary from the 15th century. The illustrations are beautiful, strange plants, star maps, and many drawings of people bathing in odd pools. The problem is, the text is written in an alphabet that has never existed on this planet. This book has been tackled by World War II codebreakers, the most advanced AI experts, and internet sleuths, but the result? Absolutely zero. Theories vary. Some say it's a highly complex constructed language, others say it's a secret pharmaceutical code. And there's the most bitter theory. This book is just a medieval troll or hoax made with extreme effort just to confuse people in the future. Imagine if 500 years from now, people found our collection of memes and regarded them as sacred scripture. That is Voynich, an encrypted file whose password was taken to the grave by its author. Rongorongo, messages from the edge of the world. Moving to Easter Island, besides the Moai statues that look like confused giants, this island has another mystery called Rongorongo. This is a system of glyph writing carved on wooden tablets. The shapes are unique, depicting humans, animals, and plants arranged in rows. But don't laugh yet. Rongorongo is proof that an isolated civilization could create writing independently without outside influence. Unfortunately, when missionaries arrived on the island in the 19th century, they viewed these tablets as idols and burned them. Now, only 24 remain worldwide. Your POV, you have a hard drive full of vital historical data, but it was doused in acid by someone who didn't understand its contents. Now, there are no more natives who can read it. This script is a dead link that leaves us failing to understand why those giant statues were actually built. Phaistos Disc, Bronze Age CD-ROM. On the island of Crete, Greece, a circular disc made of clay called the Phaistos Disc was discovered. It's circular, and on both sides there are symbols stamped in a spiral pattern. Yes, you heard that right. It was stamped, not manually carved. This means the ancient Minoans already had the concept of a printing press thousands of years before Gutenberg was born. It's like finding a CD among a pile of ancient rocks. What's inside? We don't know, because the symbols on this disc do not resemble any writing in that region. Since there is only one example of this disc, a single object, linguists lack the data to compare its patterns. This is a real-world example of a unique format file. Imagine finding a floppy disk containing important data, but nowhere in the world is there a computer with a floppy drive anymore. Frustrating, right? That's what archaeologists feel every time they look at this disk. Linear A, locked accounting. Also from the Minoan civilization, they had a writing system called Linear A. Its younger sibling, Linear B, was successfully deciphered because it turned out to be an ancient form of Greek. But Linear A? It's the highly introverted sibling that remains closed off. Visually, Linear A looks like neat scribbles often found on clay tablets. Most of its contents is likely logistical records. How many sacks of grain came in, how much wine the emperor drank, or who hasn't paid their taxes. But because we don't know the root language used, we cannot read the figures with certainty. Your POV. You find the Excel spreadsheet of the most successful company of the past, but every column is password protected and cannot be reset. We know they were wealthy and organized, but we don't know how they managed their world. Proto-Elamite, the admin's nightmare. In modern-day Iran, there was one of the oldest undeciphered writing systems called Proto-Elamite. It's over 5,000 years old. Uniquely, this writing seems to have evolved from simple accounting symbols into something very complex, then suddenly vanished. Researchers have used the latest scanning technology to see even the faintest scratches, but the main problem isn't the writing itself, but rather a historical admin error. It seems many Proto-Elamite scribes wrote in a chicken scratch style or made a lot of typos. Imagine trying to solve an ancient language that is full of misspellings. This is a historical paradox. While we search for ancestral wisdom, we instead find ourselves stuck in a pile of messy shopping receipts. Indus Script, language without a Rosetta Stone. In the Indus Valley civilization, they were one of the superpowers of the ancient world. They had incredibly modern cities, sanitation systems more advanced than some modern cities today, and of course, a writing system. Indus Script is usually found on small seals with images of animals like unicorns or elephants. Why hasn't this been cracked? Because the texts are very short. On average, only 5 to 6 symbols. This is like trying to interpret someone's entire personality just by looking at their Instagram bio that contains nothing but emojis. Without a Rosetta Stone, an inscription with 2 different languages to compare, we can only guess. Is it the name of the owner or just a brand name? The Indus Script is a reminder that overly brief communication can cause misunderstandings for thousands of years. Quipu, the thread hard drive. This is the most unique on this list. The Inca civilization in South America did not use ink and paper. They used quipu, a collection of colorful strings tied with different types of knots. To us, it might just look like a keychain or an aesthetic wall hanging, but to the Incas, it was cloud storage. The color of the thread, the direction of the twist, and the position of the knots were all data. They stored census data, war strategies, and even royal history within these knots. The problem is, almost all of the knot-reading experts, or Quipu Kamakus, were slaughtered during the Spanish conquest. Your POV, you have a super advanced data server, but all the cables have been cut and all the technicians have been fired. We know these threads speak of numbers and history, but we've lost the way to download their contents into our linguistic logic. So, why did we stop understanding our ancestors? Are they too smart, or are we too lazy to think outside the box? The answer probably lies in the middle. History doesn't always move forward. Sometimes history suffers from corrupted data due to war, disaster, or simply the changing of eras. These 7 languages are proof that humans have always had the desire to record, to be remembered, and to communicate across time. However, they also serve as a bitter reminder that without a continuous transmission of knowledge, all our intellectual achievements could end up just being mere museum pieces that our descendants cannot read. We don't just lose words, we lose their perspective on the universe. That concludes our 10-episode journey in Arc: The Origin. From impossible structures to locked languages, history turns out to hold more question marks than definitive answers. But isn't that what keeps our logic working? So, of those 7 languages, which one makes you the most curious? If you had a time machine and could only take one dictionary to solve one of them, which language would you choose? Are you more interested in reading corruption files in Linear A or curious about the strange plants in Voynich? Write your wildest theories in the comments. Who knows, some of you might actually be a reincarnation of an ancient admin who can read Quipu. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.